Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Style Esports Season 9. My name is Shinkari, and I'm joined by Rare Adam. And tonight, we have a relatively low elo game for y'all, but I don't think that's going to stop the entertainment for us this evening. We have Style Esports mainstays That Pressure up against GVSU Silver. This is sure to be an amazing match between two great teams here. We're ready to get it underway, and we're pretty much through the first phase of bans here. Adam, are you ready to go?
I am ready to go. I am excited to see what these two teams have in store. Both of these teams, as you said, a little bit lower on our elo bracket, but hey, you know what? That is okay. That is, sometimes these are the best games to watch because you really get to see the passion of Style Esports in action.
Yeah, I mean, what I like to say is folks who look to compete in fives but might not have the best solo queue rank. They might not have the skill, but you know what? They have heart. And you know what? You do need heart in order to summon Captain Planet. So you know what? That's a strong enough value for me here. As we have the bans finally finished off, we're gonna get first pick in just a moment here. Anivia, Volibear, and LeBlanc for GVSU. Vayne, Misfortune, and Azir banned away for That Pressure.
Yes, it's going to be one of the champions that GVSU's mid laner, Tamikaze, is very well versed on. We were talking about this before, and plays effectively two champions in that mid lane.
Yeah, it's real tough to say Tamikaze really plays anything else here because Victor is a lot of his most recent games and also is sitting up there with over 100 games, as Azir is 277 up there as well. But once you dip down into the third and fourth most played champions for Tamikaze here, we're starting to look at numbers in the tens. You know, it's a pretty significant difference in the amount of games that we've seen played on these particular champions here. So not the most diverse pool of champions for Tamikaze up in the mid lane for GVSU, but definitely has a whole lot of practice on the two champions that they do play. The problem is he might need to pick up that champion in this part of picks if he wants to be able to play that champion.
Yeah, really got to be careful when you do end up one or two tricking a champion, because when it comes to competitive, you need to have that agency to potentially switch off of that and look at some other options. Of course, the Leona and the Kayn are coming through really early, so Sakura-Kai is going to be picking up the Kayn in the jungle. Cookie going to be playing Leona in support, and we could see Golem Guy Galaxy pulling out that Swain support with the Jhin. Does provide a pretty decent combo, and by the looks of it, they're going to wait on that mid lane pick. Maybe Tamikaze has something up his sleeve.
Yeah, maybe I'm gonna have to be the one putting their foot in their mouth. And you know, just because a person one or two tricks a champion doesn't mean any particular champions doesn't mean they don't have anything else in their back pocket. But That Pressure is going to be locking in the Jarvan here, and I think they have a very, very good start here. I think this is a real great start with this first phase of bans here. Swain, Jhin, and Jarvan, really good combination together. Lots of good CC, some decent burst damage as well, and some decent sustain damage and self-healing. So real great first bit here. But there it is. There's Victor. There's the second champion that Tamikaze plays banned away here.
And we were looking at some of the other champions on that list. We saw Twisted Fate, which might not be bad considering the kind of profile that GVSU are going for with it, where it's a lot of picks. We also saw Ivern as one of the picks. I'm pretty sure that's the autofill champion, but
yeah,
regardless, you know, we can hope to see an Ivern mid lane. But yes, it is effectively the two champions that they play. But as you said, Swain and Jarvan, you get a good team fight, you get good skirmishing, you get some. It's good on a lot of levels. It's not great on any levels, I think. Jhin, of course, can't two-shot you once he gets to that late game, but really going to be curious to see what That Pressure round their comp out with. We still got, of course, a couple of solo lanes to answer here. Whether that Swain goes mid lane potentially or in the support position is yet to be determined, but overall, I think that we have a nicely rounded comp coming out from that pressure. GVSU Silver still just need to get a couple more things under their belt, and I think that we would have ourselves quite the matchup. And Orin is one way to consolidate your team fight as well as your late game.
Yeah, Orin is definitely a champion that gets better the longer this game goes on, and he is up there. He is in my my qualification of champions that I like to call tanks in quotations. I'm doing some finger quotations right now. I'm not on camera, so you can't see it. But Orin is one of those champions that goes into lane and you're just like, oh, it's just a tank. You know, we'll probably wet noodle slap me, and you know, maybe our trades will just be him just trying to get grasp of the undying triggers to survive my damage. No, Ornn hurts. Ornn hurts a lot. Like, you can't ignore the amount of early game burst damage that Ornn has. That Flame Breath is very potent as well, going to keep him from being CC'd as well. Like, there's a lot of burst damage coming from Ornn that you really have to respect here. And you know what? He's going to be matched up against the Tahm Kench. And who is the other character who I put into quotations as a tank? But you know, both of these characters are going to be dealing actually a decent chunk of damage to each other, but they're both going to be healing it up pretty quickly.
Yeah, a decent chunk might even be an over. It's going to be wet noodle fight up on that top side, and Corki coming out as the blind mid laner with the Orianna finishing it off means that pressure have that pressure have a very strong mid-game comp, I think, with a lot of teamfight ultimates that they can use to really sway the tides to an extent into their favor. GVSU Silver, though, they have a lot of pick tools as well. You have Caitlyn, you have Leona, you also have that Corki who can do great single target damage. Really curious to see how this all plays out.
Yeah, and I'm also not really expecting any sort of side wave play in this game either. A lot of this entire team have drafted all 5 of their team fighters here, right? I think the most side wave we'll probably see, like, might be Caitlyn off on bot lane, like farming an additional wave before joining everyone at like Dragon or Baron or whatever. But like, I don't expect to see any sort of like big split pushing in either of these sides here, because the solo laners, Orianna and Ornn for that pressure on Corki and Tahm Kench for GVSU Silver, aren't exactly split pushers, and neither are the junglers either.
And I think that what we need to see is a sort of early game pressure going one way or the other to kind of sway the team fight momentum in one way. Of course, both when you have team fight comps, it can go either way. If you land your full combo, you're able to turn the tides of a fight, and we can definitely see some really interesting developments out of that. But just want to keep our eye on. I'm curious to see how these AD carries work, because neither of them are huge team fight threats. They're more so looking for those picks, and if they get fed enough, they can start to pop off on those team fights. But it really depends. You need to get to that point on them where you can start to 2-shot people or 3-shot people, and then you can just start spreading out that damage everywhere.
Yeah, I'm just really going to be watching this Kayn, I believe. This Kayn to me is going to be just like something I want to watch, because Kayn is a champion that early ganks aren't as good and really wants to transform as soon as possible. And with his team sporting a Leona and a Tahm Kench already, 2 very beefy frontliners, he might look to go into the blue Kayn, which, you know, is a little less like I feel like not a lot of folks go the blue Kayn. I feel like red Kayn Rost has been just a lot more popular when it comes to Kayn. So we'll have to see what they do here. But, you know, they could just end up going 3 frontliners and then 2 very long range pokes in the back line here.
We'll have to see. We have to see where the dive ends up going, because Jarvan can dive really deep, so can Tahm Kench and Kayn. We're going to have to kind of get a better idea of what, in some ways, we need to see what the Swain builds, because they can go a little bit of a beefier option, or they can go just full AP and really just wreak havoc on the backline as well. I'm curious about these builds. I'm curious about these team comps in general, because both of these AD carries, as we said, not very high team fight damage, but both mid laners very high team fight damage. So it is all about that team fight, as you said.
Yeah, I think this Jhin might just end up being like maybe some sweep up crew, but I think you're mostly right. Sometimes Jhin just plays super far back and just shoots out the curtain call and then joins the fight. So we will have to see for sure. I mean, this is like mostly the thing for this entire team fight right here. So, or this entire picks and pans, because like a lot of things can happen here. I feel like we can make predictions based off of what we see and what both teams are looking for based off of these types of comps here. But when you get down to silver, sometimes you can be like, oh yeah, here's the wombo combo. But is it going to land, right? Is it going to be executed well enough is always the question that we have to say when we're talking with silver players and low gold players.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, it's not so much a dig at their skill, because at the end of the day, playing in a team requires a certain level of skill. It's more so just we aren't going to see amazing. It's not going to be LCS caliber, and I don't think that we expect it in some ways. I think there are positives to actually seeing some of these games on the lower end of our ELO spectrum, but at the end of the day, so long as both of these teams really give it their all and show what they're made of, we're going to get a good game, and that is what we can ask for as Style Esports fans.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely what we're looking for here. I mean, I think we're still going to get it. I think there's a lot of really, really sweet stuff going on here. I'm looking at Squizzy up against Imperium in the top lane. Both of these folks, not exactly on comfort right now, but are on champions that like to beat the crap out of each other fairly early on and still survive and go for long fights. I'm looking at Whiskey Lion, this rather new addition to that pressure that I haven't seen before. That is now on a champion that ganks really early against a bunch of fairly high mobility champions in the mid and bot lane. Like, this is really going to be sweet, and I think that that pressure has definitely put together a wombo comp here with Jarvan and Orianna and Ornn and lining up for things like Swain and Jhin. It's like it's just very, very cool, the team composition that they've drafted here, and if it works, it's going to look very, very cool.
Yes, I think it really depends on. It's very dependent on early game, and I think early game is something that doesn't always pop out in the lower ELO, depending on the champions, but these teams are very evenly matched, I think, and that's where a lot of the fun can come out of it, so to speak.
Yeah. So we are going to take just a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be on the rift between GVSU Silver and that pressure. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. everyone, welcome back. Style Esports Season 9. My name is Shinkari, and I'm joined by Rare Adam. We're on the Rift for GVSU Silver on the blue side, up against that pressure on the red. We have our five-man team fight comps between these two teams. We got a 5-point start, whole lot of fives going on tonight, and we are ready to get going. Adam, are you ready?
I am ready. And Gray Zero is very unhappy because of all of the fives, because Jin loves to force those team fights. Ha ha ha.
I thought you were going to say something about them supporting 100 Thieves.
Also, yeah, 100 Thieves.
Also Smoge.
Smoge. But you know what? They beat an LPL team, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. It's a big dub for them. But regardless,
correct.
Both junglers starting on bot side means that either top side's going to get a lot of attention early on, which is odd considering they're both tanks, or they go for like some level 2 gank mid lane. And odd to see Jarvan not start on red buff and just go red mid, but you know, sometimes it just be that way.
Yeah. Sometimes it do just be like that, but this is going to be a pretty good game to start. We have Jarvan looking to do blue Gromp, and then maybe making their way up to top lane. A whole lot of aggression very early on from this that pressure bot lane here. Man, that pressure is always fun to cast because like their name sometimes messes us up.
Yeah,
because we both use the word that, and in casts use the word pressure a whole lot as well. So
I mean, that's why I was talking with Jensen Go the other day, and we were just saying we should use temperature. Oh my goodness.
Should use temperature?
Yes, instead of tempo, we use temperature because yeah, I made a tweet about it. It was kind of funny for like a day, and then I kind of got over it. But regardless, yeah, instead of using pressure and like tempo, you just use temperature, because temperature involves, you know, it's nicer to say than tempo, because tempo is just thrown around like a buzzword now. It's like saying hedging and that sort of stuff. There's a lot of buzzwords in League, and at the end of the day, sometimes just switching it up is fun.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, it's like tempo is just a nice word to use. Okay, we have a gank, flag and drag combo doesn't work. Imperium's able to get away. Whiskey Lion showing up to the top lane after picking up their red buff. Looks like he's just going to make his way down to that first Grump on the bot side. Pumbaa facing a whole lot of problem on the bot. Yeah, we're going to have a whole go-around right now as Jarvan fighting the Skull Crab on the top side.
Yeah, Jarvan very strong in that early game. I dare say stronger than the Kayn, as, you know, Jarvan gets the extra attack speed off of his E, can get that knock up as well, but topside Squizzy, okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is what it was talking about. Ornn, you really got to respect his damage, even though he's a tanker. Okay, Flag Drag combo coming back in. Imperium taking incredibly low. Can they get that? There's the thick skin proc. So Sukurukai has come in. Imperium still incredibly low. Yeah, Swag Flag is not going to be able to get the kill this time. There's a little too much HP on that big catfish, so it's a wash in the top lane, but definitely giving a little bit of priority over to Squizzy right now in this top lane, as Imperium has to back.
Yep, Imperium unfortunately taking the worst end of that trade. No summoner spells used, but has already sort of lost the CS lead, and the wave is pushed into Squizzy right now. So they could look for a slow push back and look for potentially a dive, or they can freeze the wave there and just punish Imperium even more. But mid laners are trading heavily too.
Yeah, Whiskey Havoc is really there. This is just an auto battle, and I don't think Corki wins that. Oriana's passive will win that every day of the week. It might be an AD champion, but up against Oriana, you got to be careful. I don't think you win those auto attack wars. Speaking of auto attack wars in the bot lane, Crazy is going to have to take a whole bunch down. Ooh, flash forward. EQ combo. Kamikaze taken pretty low here, but Whiskey Lion not looking to turret dive a little bit further. Not a whole lot of mana on Whiskey Havoc, so they're going to have to back away there. Flash was spent, and you got to feel bad about not being able to pick up a kill if they're spending Flash like that.
And I think one of the biggest missteps there was just the fact that Oriana didn't have the ball on her, so it was a long-distance travel, but once you get out of this...
Ooh, yeah, Sukurukai, okay, gonna heal up just a little bit. Kamikaze looking for the last bit of damage. It's a good one. Whiskey Lion coming back in. Kamikaze still pretty low. That's gonna be the flag and drag over to Kamikaze. Can you find that last bit of damage? Sukurukai is gonna zone him out just a little bit more, trying to get away. Kamikaze is gonna be able to pick up a second kill for themselves in the mid lane. And that's going to be 2 pretty good kills for Tamikaze off the back of that teleport.
Yeah, and we were talking about how Tamikaze plays basically only Azir Victor. If you want to talk about similar scaling champions, Corki's one of them, and if you give Azir Victor or Corki a couple of early kills, they're going to be laughing all the way to the bank. You can see picking up that Noon Quiver already. Most likely an Immortal Shield Bow is what I'm expecting. If they were Alpha, they would go Gale Force, which is really funny because then you just Gale Force like right after your package, and you just like end up making weird marks in the ground. But really good start for this Corki, and GVSU Silver off to the races already. 700 gold in the lead, and if you want to look at where that gold exactly is, 700 gold in the lead exactly on the Corki.
Yeah, and that's if that's where all your gold is going to be, I feel like at this stage, like that's a very good thing. This Corki is building a cull and a tier right now. To have it on a character that's looking to scale a lot farther is very good as in the bot lane. Golden Guy Galaxy already picks up a kill on a Caitlyn here. And they're looking for more. Cookie's below half HP, but it's going to be really hard to deal damage to this Leona here. Pulls out that last bit of damage, pulls them forward, but still not quite within range for Jhin to follow up and get that last bit of damage. So Cookie's going to be able to back here, although you do pick up a kill in the bot lane.
Able to pick up a kill, really good to get it onto the Caitlyn as well. I also just realized, looking at the top side, my goodness, Ornn has double the CS of Tahm Kench. That's the punishment from that wave pushing away from Imperium and no teleport coming through. But Dragon gonna get started up, and you know, that pressure, able to put that pressure on the right lanes and get themselves a Dragon early. Mountain Dragon as your single Drake is actually quite good. It's up there in terms of single Drakes with the likes of Cloud Dragon, which is ironic because Cloud is usually seen as the worst soul, but Infernal is going to be the next one. So we either get what is considered the weakest soul, or we get what is considered to be one of the strongest souls.
Interesting. I usually say that Ocean is usually like one of the better ones to have like just by itself, right? Because usually in this earlier game, when you're only working with 1 or 2 dragons, having that little extra bit of health and mana regen is usually really good for making sure that you can stay in lane, especially for helping out your mid laner. But yeah, I can like a lot of these. I mean, a lot of these dragon buffs are so good, but like yeah, I can see folks saying that like Cloud Drake by itself is mostly pretty good.
Like the main reason why Cloud Drake by itself is considered good is because it's just a flat amount, right? It's 12 ultimate ability haste. You get that up, and because ability haste is additive, it helps out, especially in the earlier stages. So the main reason why people also say that Cloud is the best single drag is because you won't get Cloud Soul if you get a single Cloud Dragon. So you know, it's sort of a small victory, but topside.
Yeah, this might be a large victory as Squizzy goes in, gets so much CC. Imperium can't go anywhere except skyward, as it's just going to be one airborne ability after another. 1, 2, 3 shots from the curtain call. Can he get the 4th? Absolutely, yes. Crazy is going to be picking up that kill in the bot lane, and that's very, very good 2 kills. This is pretty good coming out from that pressure already. This is a real great pickup and a pretty good start as well. They got a first Drake. They have a really good kills on both ends of the map. This is really good start.
Yeah, a good start from them. They're able to find kills on both of their side lanes, and because of that CS difference that Squizzy was able to pick up, you know, up 25 CS, forces the teleport out of Imperium here as well. They're just going for an invade, and both of them are very strong. Sukurakai might be in trouble. Oh,
yeah, Sukurakai is going to be stunned inside of the Cataclysm. That's going to be the coming across from the Ornn as well. Has to use that ultimate to go inside Whiskey Line, give himself a little bit of vulnerability. Whiskey Line taking incredibly low. Can they find the last bit of damage? I don't think so. Now it's a 3v1. Squizzy is looking for Sukurakai, who's inside the wall. He can't find that last bit of damage. Flame Breath looking for Sukurakai. Not going to be able to get it this time. That's going to be a 2 for nothing up over by the Wolves.
I think the main concern for me going into that play was actually for the side of GVSU, where they went in with a Corki package and it hit absolutely no one. They didn't hold it. Oh my goodness, we'll get back to that. Wait
a minute, Swain ultimate popped in the bot lane here. Pumbaa has to flash away. The Ignite is ticking as well, taking incredibly low. Great Z flashes forward, gonna be able to pick up 1 kill. Cookie is now the target now, has to run for their life through the bush, gonna flash forward, gets rooted up by the Jhin. Golem Guy Galaxy pops the ultimate. That's a 2 for nothing in the bot lane.
Yeah, Hakuna Matata, Pumbaa's gonna go down, unfortunately. I'm getting that one out of the way in game 1, but well played by Golem Guy Galaxy to be able to hold that ultimate for so long. I know it's so tempting as Swain to just pop it, but We'll get back. Man, there's just non-stop action. This is why it's
Yeah,
tough being a color commentator.
they used the shockwave as well, but it was a flash away. Sukar Kai's looking for that last bit of damage on Whiskey. Havoc's going to land. Okay, let's see if they can find just a little bit more. Whiskey Lion taking real low, but they're only going to be able to pick up the kill on the Orianna. Yeah, that shockwave was looking real good until they flashed away from it. But Tamikaze looking for more. Okay, throws out a phosphorus bomb, doesn't really want to follow up and dive past 2 turrets to find Whiskey Lion. So Whiskey Lion's going to go back into the jungle, farm back up a bit, maybe heal a bit, come back in for maybe more action. But yeah, it's real tough to gank that mid lane. It's real tough to gank Corki.
Yeah, Corki is able to get away pretty easily. And of note, started the cull, so already almost finished that up. Gives a little bit more of a gold burst once you finish that up. And considering how well this lane is going, the cull was the right option. Oftentimes you only take that if you're confident you're going to be able to farm up and not really die early, because you want to get that stacked up as quickly as possible. And we're going to see Tamikaze finishing that up right around 12 minutes, which is pretty good timing on a cull, especially considering where we are in the elo brackets. Don't like to flame people for farming, but honestly, it's hard to farm. That's why I'm a support main.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I do it too. I don't actually last hit minions. I just wait for the minions to be low enough health for my relic shield to execute the minion.
Although it has become a skill of mine when my ADC dies in solo queue, which sometimes happens upwards of 10 times a game, I will have to learn how to last hit on Nami, but bot side.
Ooh, yeah, Golem Guy Galaxy is going to pop that ultimate there. That's the Solar Flare onto Grey Zero there, but they have to run for their lives. The ultimate has been popped by Kayn. They're diving forward, but ooh, real good interrupt by Whiskey Zone there, but that's going to be the shutdown for Caitlyn here. The Ornhorn comes across and going to knock Pumbaa into the air. Can they get away? The Brittle is going to keep them just CC'd for a little bit longer. There's the clap. Squizzy is going to be the one picking up the kill this time. So it's a 2-for-1 in the, or 3-for-1 rather, in the bot lane, because Leona did just spawn. But they're going to pick up the Drake as well. So they're going to be picking up an Infernal Drake into their pockets, and maybe we'll have the worst soul in the game. Who knows?
Yeah, we might get the worst soul in the game, but regardless, it's going to be... we actually get one of the best souls in the game. Never mind.
Okay, let's go.
Speaking of which... I just realized how difficult it's going to be to cast in about 2 months' time when they add those other rifts. They haven't released
Hextech and Hextech and oh man, what's the other one?
Hextech and
it's Chemtech.
Chempunk or Chemtech or whatever.
Chemtech. It's Chemtech. I think it's Chemtech. But in the top lane, Squizzy is looking to fight Imperium here. The rest of the Gray is up here as well. But okay, it's a whole party up here. Okay, Squizzy is taken pretty low here, below half HP. Tamikaze has to use the Valkyrie to get away, but here comes the curtain call. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's not going to find any kills this time, but the blue team does have to back away, which does mean Kayn is in some trouble if he does get spotted out. A ward is going to be thrown into the pit here, but it is immediately canceled out. Kayn does get spotted out by Whiskey Lion here. Is now the red team looking to collapse, but the blue team is still hovering around, so we might get a fight around this pit in a bit.
And Imperium, of note, still hasn't built any bonus health right now, so in some ways kind of cutting down his own damage in that sense, but Solar Flare.
Ooh, yeah, Solar Flare comes out. Squizzy is going to probably be the first to fall here. Okay, after all that time, he goes down. Jin is going to fall on the backside as well. Golem God Galaxy is in some trouble, but he's going to be able to pick up a kill for themselves. Cookie is now falling incredibly low. Whiskey Havoc is still there. Just use the shockwave. Let's see if they can find that last bit of damage. Ooh, the Imperium Thick Skin is going to save his life this time. Oh, no. Here it comes. Snooker Akai underneath the turret. Well, there they go. Double kill for the Kayn, but it's a 2-for-5. The blue team comes out huge on top here, only losing 2 members, picking up 5, and this is going to be a great start. They're going to pick up this Rift Herald.
That was a 4v5 as well. Pumbaa stayed bot lane that entire time. Grey Zero was sort of surprised by the Corki package coming all the way in and taking out that Jin from the beginning. You unfortunately can't cleanse away from that. And in the end, Caitlyn able to pick up first tower on the bot side. Unfortunately, plates were already down for about a minute, so no bonus gold off of that. But picking up first tower, good for the Caitlyn to get back in this game. And you can see, picking up the Kraken Slayer here, some pretty beefy members. So interesting to see that option from Caitlyn. Usually you see the Gale Force because she needs that additional safety sometimes, but Kraken Slayer, just to make sure she does enough damage, is a valiant option, at least not an offer. She's not offering up that But bot side, Cookie might be in trouble.
Yeah, Cookie taking a bit of damage here, but Gray Z is not willing to really turret dive just yet. Jarvan is waiting in the wings, but I think he might be just a little bit cautious of where these wards are right now and might not want to dive if he doesn't have to. So let's see. Oh my gosh, so much damage on a Cookie. Oh, curtain call. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, they get the turret. The ultimate is down. Kane is coming in, so I don't think that pressure wants to stay here very long. Okay, here they come. Pumbaa's gonna go down here, gonna take very low. Okay, there's the first kill. Gray's gonna be knocked into the air and stunned up by the solar flare as well, but here comes Squizzy. The Ornhorn comes across, gonna knock Kane into the air. Can they find the last bit of damage? Absolutely. Swain is gonna be the one picking up this kill this time. Golem Guy Galaxy doing real well this game. 3-1-8 on this Swain, and they're looking to push onto this tier 2 as well. 4 members strong in the bot lane. They're getting a bunch of really good objectives for themselves.
Picking up 2 towers on the back end of that. Really well played from that pressure to sort of reverse that curse from top side. They're able to sort of, I want to say, slingshot their advantages back from that bot lane. You know, you give up a tower on bot side, you lost 5 members on the top side, you immediately send 4 members down to that bot side. You're able to pick up 2 towers and a couple of kills, and honestly, really well played for them to get back up on their feet and get back into the gold lead. So going back and forth. If you wanted to draw a sine wave, I don't remember how to do all of that stuff because I'm pretty sure I stopped math after grade 11. But regardless, you can definitely graph this gold lead right now without the use of too many obscure functions as normally is the case.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been swinging back and forth a whole lot between these two teams. We have, I mean, there's been one good play after another by both squads here, and it's still pretty close. And now with this first Ocean Drake spawning and the blue team having a whole lot of setup around this Drake already, it's going to be real tough for the red team to get in here. Yeah, Golem Guy Galaxy is going to have to tank up just a little bit of damage in order to eat one of those Caitlyn traps here. We'll have to see if they want to engage, but it looks like a no thus far.
And as it stands right now, we've just got to keep our eye on what happens around this dragon. Well, this dragon is going to go over to the side of GVSU, but we need to see that pressure try and look for something to answer that, because this is their sole point they're giving up. Yes, it seems like, oh, but yeah, you know, you gave up first dragon. That's basically just the lead into second dragon, into third dragon, etc. But them getting soul point this early before this Corki has really come online is... It's a missed opportunity, I think. If you move all your members down, you can potentially look for something, but they might be able to find something anyways.
Yeah, Sukurokai is immediately going to be CC'd for an eternity, as that's going to be them picking up just a very easy 1 for 0. They are now 5 members strong, and they're looking for this outer mid turret right now.
I'm going to continue to push forward and look for more. Pumbaa's in trouble.
Oh, yeah, that's the curtain call as well. That's going to be the Cataclysm. That's going to be the command Shockwave. That's, ooh, couldn't find that last bit of damage on a Pumbaa, but they are going to find this. Let's see if Tamikaze wants to package into this. Oh, Pumbaa's taken out. Tamikaze still on the edges here. Doesn't really want to throw out that package just quite yet. Now they're on to this second tier, or this tier 2 turret from in the mid. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to grab anything this time. Looks like they're just backing away and resetting right now.
I think one of the major things there that stopped Tamikaze from going in was the choice between going for the 4 members or going for the Jhin kill. And if they found Jhin, it would have been a kill right away. But
wait a minute. Squizzy goes down to Tamikaze, down around the Dragon Pit. But now Tamikaze has to flash away. Whiskey Lion doesn't have the Cataclysm available. And now that they're so far away, Tamikaze does have that advantage. He can just keep, poking with rockets.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, yeah, Whiskey Havocs. Get out of there, bud. Those Corki missiles hurt.
Yeah, Tamikaze is just carrying the brunt of the weight here. Oh my goodness, the prediction though.
Okay, yeah, that's a real good flag and drag, but now Whiskey Lion's in some trouble. Tamikaze just got that Muramana finished right now as Golem Guy Galaxy in the top lane is 1v3ing. Can he get that damage out? He's getting CC'd a whole lot. He's gonna have to go golden. He's gonna pop the ultimate and pick up the kill onto Imperium, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 there as Whiskey Havoc. No! Whiskey Havoc goes down to a Corki shot in the mid lane. Oh no. Okay. Well, we're getting back in the game, and you said it right. It's another sine wave gold graph between these two teams, as now the gold is back into GVSU Silver's favor.
What? Cookie flashed away from Baron.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't think this is a safe Baron, because Jin is going to hopefully be able to move over here, and Squizzy has ultimate available. This is risky. Sukurokai's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's taking real... Oh, no. Squizzy uses the ultimate too soon. Has to flash over the wall. Tries to steal the Baron. It's not going to work. The blue team picks it up. And now Jin is on the backline trying to find any sort of damage he can. But it's not going to happen this time. Yeah, they're just walking away from that AOK. All 5 members alive, and Squizzy goes down. Oh, man.
What just happened? That was a fever dream for the last minute and a bit. Regardless, after all of that, we have our biggest gold lead of the game for either team here. GVSU Silver have taken themselves up to, I need to do some math really quickly, 2,500 gold. Not a huge gold lead, but it exists, and they have Baron on 5 members. They're going to try and open up the map with this, but at this point, it is the Tamikaze versus that pressure show, because Tamikaze 8, 1, and 4 is absolutely dishing out 3 complete items at 22 minutes. Imperium is in trouble, though.
Yeah, Whiskey Line going into the top lane here. Imperium's in some trouble. That's going to be the Cataclysm coming about. He's going to use that Abyssal Voyage to get away. Yeah, it's significantly harder to gank this this Tom Kench now after those ultimate changes. So now, yep, let's see if Whiskey Lion... That's, yeah, they're in a whole lot of trouble. Get knocked into the air, pulled closer, and now Sukurokai is looking for Whiskey Line here. Incredibly low, but Golem God Galaxy is immediately going in with that Swain ultimate, looking for more. He's got a flash forward on Tamikaze. Look at that burst damage coming down from Oriana. He's going to get a whole lot. Can they find that last bit of damage? Sukurokai comes to draw him back in, looking for the kill on the Golem God Galaxy. The ultimate goes through. Can they get the damage? Look how much he was able to heal. 1, 2 fall. Now it's a 3v2 in the mid lane. Squizzy is trying to keep them away as best they can, but Gray is trying to run for their life. Flashes away from the Solar Flare as well, trying to look for the rune, not going to be able to land it. Let's see if they can find it. Squizzy goes down. Can they find Grade 0? He's underneath the turret now. It's a 3-for-1 in the mid lane. Excuse me. Drink water and warm up your voices, kids.
Oh my goodness, wait, they're going to keep going. As, I guess, I'm taking over for a bit.
Yeah.
Grade 0 has the 4th shot here, and Whiskey Lion was forced to back off. Was able to stay alive, but it's so hard to cut through these frontliners when you went 2nd item rapid fire cannon on Grade 0, but they're going under the tower. Here comes
they're diving real close. Cookie 5 taking real low. Imperium has to chew up and spit out Sukurokai here. Whiskey Lion looking for a little bit more, but yeah, you're right. It's going to be real hard to cut through the HP of these champions right here, but going for that rapid fire cannon as opposed to maybe a Lord Dominic's, or maybe even a Bork, who knows? It's very hard to get like % health damage on Jin.
Yeah, you don't want to build Blade of the Ruined King because it sort of is useless on you. In the same vein, we should have seen a Lord Dominic's Regards come through 2nd item as opposed to the rapid fire cannon. I think Grey 0 was just going a little bit on autopilot there, but regardless, the LDR is going to come through now, and all things considered, it ends up being relatively a negative power play. I think if you take away the fact that they get 1,500 gold from that Baron, there was a lot of shutdowns going back over to the side of that pressure, and Squizzy on this top side, doing their job, being a tank. And of note, level 12, once you get to that level 13 mark, or level 14, you have to start to upgrade your teammates' items. So in some ways, just existing and getting experience becomes the most important thing for Ornn. So that gold lead will soon become even more irrelevant as Ornn starts to upgrade those items, and you have some pretty good options there. Ceaseless Hunger is a ridiculous upgrade, and it's going to get even more ridiculous with the changes to Gore Drinker next patch, where it gives you Omnivamp. Excuse me, Riot?
Yeah, I think they just wanted to take away from the passive healing while maintaining the ridiculous amount of healing that you have on that item.
I'm scared we're going to see Akali build it or something. I'm just saying, like, Gore Drinker Akali coming to...
Look, Akali needs it. Akali doesn't only really has, like, 1 mythic item to build. As now, wait, hold on. Tamikaze delivering the package here. Grey Zero is actually in some trouble. They're going to block up the headshot here, so Grey Zero is not going to get ace in the hold this time. So yeah, it's a wash in the mid lane after a couple of pretty important cooldowns were spent. It doesn't look like the blue team is letting up anytime soon.
Nope. all gas, no brakes right now for both of these teams, actually, as Tamikaze just dishing out the damage, no fear going forward. Level 15 on this Corki means that they're starting to get to the point where, well, with one more level at least, their rockets will be chunking, no matter if it is a large one or a slightly smaller than average one. You know, that is what Corki's all about. He's small in a big ship and fires out small rockets except for every third one because, you know, everyone loves the number 3 at Riot.
Yes. Look, I mean, I can't be... There was like an entire set of champions released one after another that was just like, do 3 auto attacks and then kaboom!
Echo?
Vi, Diana. As we have a curtain call coming across us, the second shot, third, Golem God Galaxy looking for a bit more damage with this Swain ultimate right here. Does a decent chunk of damage to Cookie here, but not anywhere close to start healing anytime soon. Tamikaze looking for some more, but that's a real good Orianna ultimate to keep it away from their support here. So they're now backing away. Squizzy has now joined the fight and is in the wings looking for just a little bit of something for themselves, but I think at this point, Squizzy is just trying to get XP without A-ramming it mid lane.
Squizzy just trying to get to that point where he can start upgrading those items. And of note, Imperium is level 15 because of how much grouping Squizzy has done, which just means that you can't get those Ornn items, but Gray, oh
no! They made the grave mistake of standing on top of a Caitlyn trap against a team that is has so much poke damage and is so fed right now. They're not ahead by a whole lot of gold, but this damage has to be respected right now. Corki is just out of their mind right now, and I think like a decent chunk of that damage was like 3 missiles from Corki.
Yeah, Corki with that Essence Reaver as well. You pop a big one and you pop an auto attack, and that's going to take out like 70% HP from everyone. But Baron started up. Imperium is playing Imperial Gatekeeper. But
yeah, that looks like the best. Look at those Caitlyn traps as well. Real well placed. They're looking to dive here. Kai is on top of Golem Guy Galaxy. There's going to be the Ornn Horn coming across, disengaging for their team, walking away as best they can because they're still 5 members strong. Jin is coming back from base right now. It doesn't look like they're able to find a whole lot more right now as, just going to back away as that's going to be the first ornament thrown out. Nope. Squizzy's still level 12.
Yes, and needs to upgrade his own item before anyone else's. Keeping in mind that Jin now has the Lord Dominic's Regard. Will be starting to deal some decent damage to the Kayn, to the Leona, not really to the Tahm Kench because it's Tahm Kench, but around this dragon, this is going to be soul point for either team.
Yeah, Kai gets chomped up. That's a real good devour from Imperium here, but that's going to be the Cataclysm coming across. Whiskey Lion gets the res off as well, gets a huge heal, but is not going to be able to survive just a little bit longer. Cookie's still taking incredibly low. Can they find that last bit of damage? There's so many low health bars on the blue team, but they can't quite find this last bit of damage. Gray Zero's going to be picking up 1 kill. Can he pick up a second? Cookie is going to get blocked by Pumbaa here. Can they find the last bit of damage? No, they're still looking for it. Whiskey goes over the wall. Kai taking incredibly low, but still can't finish them off, as now they're looking for more. Diving forward. Pumbaa's taking real low. Gray Zero's going to be the one picking up that kill, as now it's a 2-0 around this Drake, and the red team is looking to pick up this soul point.
Yeah, aside of that pressure, able to find a couple of picks and onto some pretty key members, but Whiskey Lion...
Ooh, yeah, that's a whole lot of damage coming down from Tamikaze now. It's going to be really tough. They don't have a smite, and Kai is waiting in the wings here. They're going to have to dive and do something drastic here. Oh, they're going to be able to find the shutdown on the Corki, and that's real big, but they lose the Drake, setting GVSU Silver on soul point with 3 Ocean Drakes.
And it's even more depressing when you look at the enemy team. You have Kayn and Tahm Kench, huge damage dealers, and we only see 2 Oblivion Orbs thus far. And yes, they are working on it, but Orianna is not going to build Putrefier. There's another one. Never mind. Forget I said anything. They have enough Grievous Wounds now, I think. But regardless, there's no Putrefier, which is usually, in a lot of cases, why you pick Enchantresses now is because you just build Putrefier, and your entire team does not have to opt into a Morello or an Oblivion Orb or an Executioner's Calling, whatever, because you just are able to spread it so easily. But in this situation, unfortunately, we're going to have to see all of them buy those green items, which is kind of gross if you think about it. Like, imagine wearing like a vest that's just like poisoned.
Twitch wouldn't mind. I think Twitch would be like, okay, whatever.
Bro, but Twitch is also nasty. Like, Twitch wants you to like old eggs. He actively advocates for that.
Can't let any food go to waste.
Literally. I demand a sandwich. He doesn't care if it's been like 12
It's still
years.
good. It's like he's the guy that looks at the guacamole that's been out for like a day, and he's just like, "Oh, it's still good." Ooh. It's all brown.
Which is nasty, man. Oh, they're
Yeah.
take me into the pit.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Whiskey is looking a little tough here. Cookie's taking incredibly low, but the blue team's going to be able to secure Baron Nash. Horn comes across, but it goes off in the wrong direction. They're going to be able to pick up the Cataclysm here, but one after another red team is falling. That's a whole lot of damage on this Corki. He currently has a double kill. Can they find more? Absolutely not, but the blue team is going to be the ones picking up these kills. Not for Corki, but they're still coming out on top. It's a 5-for-1. They're marching down this mid lane.
Yeah, Corki alpha packaged right into the backline and just one-shot Orianna and Jin there. Well, more like 4-shot, but you know, it's Corki, does a lot of damage, and when you give this guy 4 items, starting to build a void staff just to do even more damage. You can see the surrender vote failed for red team there. They're kind of mental moved at this point because GVSU Silver are able to pick up 3 consecutive Ocean Dragons. You cannot take down this Corki. You cannot take down this Kane. You cannot take down this Tom Kench. And the only thing that's going to be taken down is that Pressure's inhibitor, at least for the time being. We'll see what they opt to do with the rest of this Baron buff, though.
I mean, they have a wave pushing in the top lane. I feel like the easy call here is just to rotate top. Like, you're going to you have a wave, you have some good pushers, but it looks like Corki doesn't want to be here by themselves, so they're just going to be backing away. As, yeah, it looks like the blue team is just resetting after picking up a decent chunk of gold for themselves with this Baron buff.
Yep, able to continuously put more pressure on that pressure. In some ways, you know, pressure creates diamonds, but pressure can also break the crap out of anything as well if it's not carbon and doesn't want to become a diamond. So that's essentially what's happening. You know, the pressure gauge is starting to like go off the rails, starting to like break. You know how the glass breaks in all those cartoons when there's too much pressure? That's basically what's happening. The glass is starting to crack and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we're basically getting like a tea kettle boiling kind of sound right now. And it's not exactly looking good for that pressure right there. They're still kind of behind. They haven't been really able to get a decent team fight for themselves. So with this gold lead favoring GVSU Silver and the carries that are on their team right now, like this Corki's full build. Like this Corki's full build at about 33 minutes. I remember I was playing a game from behind yesterday at 33 minutes. I was building my 3rd item. And like to see this Corki right now, 12-3-9, 268 CS, this is going to be nearly impossible to get onto. Like you're going to have to use all of your CC in order to get onto this Corki. Holy, no way!
Excuse me?
That Corki used 5 abilities. I think auto-attacked maybe once. Killed the Orianna and 3 residual damage plus 2 more abilities. Killed the J4. This is if there is any way to win this game, it's through killing that Corki the minute that he shows up on your map. And even then, will require you to tunnel vision while Kane and Caitlyn kill you. Like, it's just really, really tough to win from this point. They're now up about 8,000 gold, 7,000 and some changes. Oh my god.
That was one auto attack.
Yeah. Thank you, Essence Reaver. Very cool. Yeah, it's now Squizzy. Squizzy and Golden Guy Galaxy looking to make a stand for their Nexus right now. But yeah, it's looking to be real tough against this blue squad right here. Is now Kane. Guess where Kane is? Kane's over here. Kane's on the dragon.
Oh, that's a 4-stack Ocean Soul as well going into Kane's pocket. He has Spirit Visage. He has Gore Drinker. He has Asterix Gauge. Are you killing this Kane Shinkari?
No, probably not.
Yes, that is correct. That is the correct answer.
Yeah. Yes.
20 points to Gryffindor there. But yes,
that's a good call. I am a Gryffindor.
Oh, random guess. I don't remember what I am. I think I'm a Ravenclaw.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Or maybe a Hufflepuff. Who knows? I make a lot of dumb memes.
Yeah. It weirds me out when people are like, I'm a Ravenpuff. I'm like, stop. Cease. I
am one or the other.
Yeah, it's like, come on. It's okay. I've never made a decision before in my life either, so...
Yeah. I mean... in terms of like how the story was built out, if you want to go into like, oh, I'm a Raven puff or stuff like that, then you have to say that Ron Weasley was a Griffin puff, because that guy in the first like 3 books was like kind of useless.
Yeah, I mean, okay, well,
oh
speaking of not useless, Tamikaze certainly isn't. He's just going to find out. Whiskey Lion here, taking incredibly low. He missed the last miss, so he's gonna live. That's huge. Oh my god! They get the shutdown. 2 kills for that pressure for nothing in return. Let's go! They find the kill on Tamikaze. That's a minute long. Good death timer. That's a whole lot of time for that pressure to get back into this game and close some gaps. But Squizzy is in this top lane. Sukar Kai's looking for some revenge. Here he comes through the wall like a Sekiro character, looking for that kill. Gonna try to dodge around as best they can. There's this swaying bit of damage, trying to help Squizzy live for just a little bit longer. They're really not doing anything to this Ornn right now. I think it's just a war of attrition at this point. He's so tanky. He needs a 3rd person up here in order to take down Squizzy, but they're gonna be able to pick up the kill at the end of the day. Sukar is unstoppable. I thought for sure Squizzy was gonna have just a whole lot more trouble, but I think he put Anathema's chains onto Sukar. Let me see. Who has the
It should
the
be on
right?
Corki. If it's not on Corki.
Yeah, it's on Corki.
Okay, yes.
Oh my god. Okay, so let's see. Pumba, we got a whole bunch of folks pushing in the top lane. Yeah, Anathema's changes on to Corki. That's a very smart decision. He's teleporting into this top side. They're looking for Baron.
And despite Tamikaze going down, it's still full build. And
yeah,
while that's a good thing, that's also in some ways a bad thing, because Corki's capped out. There is no point for Corki to get any more farm. There's no point for Corki to get any more kills apart from winning the game. So if you're not winning the game with this full build Corki, then you are losing the game by, I guess, logic, if that's even logic. But right now, this game is... It's so close, considering it's still an 8,000 gold lead for the side of GVSU Silver, and it's going to grow because they're going to push in these waves. They can get these inhibitors, but Jhin is getting close to full build as well. You know, Ornn sitting on 3 items, J4 sitting on 3 items, Orianna sitting on 3 items, even Swain is sitting on 3 items. There is a lot of damage that can come through. It's just if they can burst them out, because if they do not get the burst, it is not good enough. But here comes the Ornhorn.
Yeah, that's going to be Whiskey Lion waiting on the wings here for the flank. That's going to be the flag and drag forward. Finds the Cataclysm onto the 2 carries on the back line, but it's going to fall to Caitlyn as Sukar Akai diving on, doing the same thing on the other side here. Whiskey Havoc is finally going to pop outside of that golden and go down. And Squizzy's going to be able to pick up a shutdown for themselves. They're diving onto Tamikaze, trying to find that last bit of damage. Current call comes across, but Tamikaze is being body blocked for Squizzy and Grey Zero, the only members left of that pressure. Let's see if they'll be able to survive for just a little bit longer. These turrets are so close. Yeah, oh my god, they are full health again. Squizzy, okay, Squizzy's getting back in here. Let's go. Okay, Tamikaze versus Grey Zero 1v1 on the top side here. They can't quite find it. The Nexus is going down. The most important 50 gold of the game has been picked up by GVSU Silver. They win game 1.
Wow. I'm going to take a look at this gold graph. That is what we were doing. And normally I just kind of hop back into doing whatever, but let's look at this gold. I can't look at the gold graph. You know why? Because we can't view it on the web.
Yeah.
Turning off what? You know what? Madge.
I do want to highlight that Corki doll. I know this isn't much of a statistic that's probably too crazy out there, but like Corki did 58,152 damage that game. That's insane.
That was Chobi Light Gaming
God.
In a nutshell, and just really good game coming out from GVSU Silver. It did take them 38 minutes to win that one, but man, did they put the hurt down, and huge game out of Corki.
Yeah, that Corki, I mean, I think you said it right? Like when you have an early scaler getting ahead fairly early, and like the second that I saw I don't want to say like it was over since this point, but like when I saw Corki sitting on a nearly fully stacked call, a Tear of the Goddess, and a Noon Quiver, I was like, okay, it's gonna be real hard to stop this Corki now. It's just gonna be really, really tough. So they're going to it's gonna be an uphill battle from here because they're already doing really, really well.
Yeah, no, they had a great game 1. And I think they just need to translate that into a great game 2 and try and sort of... The main thing about these lower elo games is that momentum is key. If you can get that momentum and keep the momentum, I feel like a lot of the times we don't see the team that wins a series win game 1, game 3. It's either they 2-0 or they get mini reverse swept, and that's all where the momentum comes from. But we'll have to see how it goes in game 2 here.
Yeah, we're going to take just a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be in picks and bans of game 2 of GVSU Silver versus That Pressure. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports. My name is Shin Kari. I'm joined by Rare Adam, and we have two teams lined up for you all tonight. GVSU Silver versus That Pressure. We're in picks and bans of game number 2 right now. GVSU Silver was able to win game 1 off the back of a very, very strong Tamikaze on Corki in the mid lane. Bringing out a pretty big surprise pick because I think we were both convinced that this guy really only plays Azir and Victor.
Yep, and instead pulls out the Corki. I don't want to say it was too much of a surprise because it's a very similar champion to those other ones, but bans are quite similar coming out from That Pressure, and GVSU Silver, they might just be able to do a salty run back here.
I mean, yeah, they can definitely first pick the Corki here one more time if they want to. I mean, it was a very strong pick, and I think it's going to be left up. Because I think that pressure is basically saying it's like, yeah, I mean, Corki was able to run away with the game, but like it wasn't really like I don't know if it's still like ban worthy, you know what I mean? Like it's like maybe this person just got like lucky with like a couple of this, maybe got like just a very, very good start, and we weren't able to really be able to like you know what I mean? Like I'm like brain farting super hard. I apologize.
Did a lot of damage, but
Yeah.
interesting first pick as the response here. They thought that last game they didn't have enough of a tank in the front line. They're going to pick Sejuani, and Sejuani, in my opinion, kind of sucks as a champion because you require very specific solo lanes, and LeBlanc is not one of the solo lanes that I had in mind when paired up with the Sejuani.
Yeah, I mean, this does lend itself to a lot of Squizzy's champ pool in the top lane. LeBlanc is going to be a little bit harder to gank for in the bot or in the mid lane, but I feel like with Squizzy's champion pool, you're going to be able to gank top lane fairly easily. It's just that in the bot lane is where you're going to see a whole lot more of your trouble, because once again, that's going to be probably a lane of two ranged champions most of the time, especially with Golem Guy Galaxy favoring that Swain for support.
Yeah, I think one of the main things to keep in mind is, actually, we get a spicy bot lane coming out. Jinx.
Ooh.
Leona. Wow. Jinx is not a champion we've seen a whole lot of. She did get buffed before Worlds, but sort of fell off a little bit in terms of favoritism just because it's Jinx, and she kind of just gets outmatched by other champions. But I like to see this come out from Squizzy. Going to play a more aggressive top laner that works well with Sejuani here. I think that Whiskey Line and Squizzy have to start meeting up a little bit more in this game and looking for those plays, because Sejuani does not synergize very well with LeBlanc. The main reason why I say it's very specific solo lanes is because you need that double melee, and in turn, when you draft Sejuani, you need double ranged bot lane, so you have enough range unless you're going, a pike or something that's all in. So that pressure drafting at least half of what Sejuani wants to see. As I sneeze at that. Oh my goodness. We'll have to see how this Sejuani works out, because I'm doubtful, but it's more so out of caution as opposed to I hate this pick.
Right, and I don't know. I usually like the Sejuani pick. It's a very strong initiation. It's a decent clear as well. I think Sejuani has been on the receiving end of some buffs fairly recently. I think within the past couple of patches as well. Like, I think this is a pretty good pick, and also within the comfort of Whiskey Lion, and fairly similar to the champion that they were playing before in the J4. This is just being just a little bit more of a comfort pick for them. I mean, we'll have to see what this bot lane looks like right now, because that pressure has opted to pick all of their solo laners and their jungler in round 1.
Yep, looking to lock down a bottom lane later here is an interesting option, because it means that the Jinx is able to sort of ban out some of those annoying ADCs to face. So something that has a little bit more range than her in lane, like the Jhin and the Ezreal. Of note, Nautilus is picked up here. They're last picking ADC, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me unless they've got some sort of weird cheese strat up their sleeve.
Yeah, I do like this Nautilus pickup here. Like you said, usually you end up having a double range spot, but this does put another melee on your team to help out with Sejuani. To be honest, I think I probably would have liked Braum a little bit more here, but when it comes to supports, Golem Guy Galaxy is a pretty kind of small pool. Like, they've been playing a whole lot of like AD carry and mid recently in this current season. The last season they were I believe they were a jungle Nunu, like, I don't want to say one trick, but they have said in the past that they were like, that was the champion that they've played the most, like that AP Nunu.
Yeah, and one thing to note is that pressure have sort of swapped around their roles a whole bunch. That is something I know from having played against them, but wow, I like this coming out from GVSU, going for a little bit of an audible, and basically saying, Jinx, you are the hard carry this game. And they add on top of it a Nocturne with the Galio. And this sort of lends the same sort of strategy or energy as Hecarim Shen or Evelyn Shen, those sort of things, where you sort of have the Tracer Bullet, which is Nocturne, and you have Galio, which jumps onto the backline.
Yeah, usually other folks will be like, oh yeah, it's a bounce house where you make a house with Cataclysm or Hextech Ultimatum. What the hell? I am so sorry. I just heard like a loud pop, and I was taken so far I did not know where it came from, and I got like very worried because on the right side of my desk is just a bunch of wires, and I was like, please don't let anything be on fire. So sorry. But yeah, I mean Galio is at his best when he's paired with an initiator. Galio himself technically can start fights, but isn't looking to do that, be the prime initiator, right? He wants to be the one to follow up, right? And with Leona, there already was a decent initiation tool for GVSU Silver for Galio to follow up on, right? The Zenith Blade is very good, but now having the Oran Horn and especially the Paranoia now means this Galio is going to be very, very potent.
Yes, we need him. We sort of want to see the Ornn or the Nocturne being the first one to go in, and it's weird saying Nocturne's an engaged champion. It's more so just to get someone to that backline, and that's the real key. Another good thing about Nocturne is being able to turn out the lights means that Jinx, I believe, with her rockets at, I'm trying to remember the buffs, rank 3? I'm going to double check these because I think Jinx rockets at rank 3 means that she's auto-attacking from outside of vision radius from the Nocturne ult. I'm double checking this because that is I know that used to be a thing where you picked Nocturne and Kog'Maw because Kog'Maw gains 210 range, which is an insane amount, and it meant that you could be auto attacking and no one could see you. But I gotta double check on the Jinx buffs. I'll get back to you.
Yeah. I'm also looking at it right now because I think you're right, and I think that's where you were going with it as well. So I was kind of like, yeah, you can just shoot from outside the range, but I believe the last buff that Jinx got here was just the mana cost on Fishbones just being a little bit less at lower levels, so you can shoot out those rockets earlier.
Yeah, and it isn't a huge buff as we're seeing right now. It's 4 mana at level 1, so your rockets are only 16 mana, but in the end, that's the skill you're maxing, so it just sort of helps with that laning phase just that little bit. You potentially get off an extra rocket or 2 in lane, and it ends up paying dividends in a lot of ways because that could be the difference between you getting excited and getting your, if you go Presence of Mind on Jinx, which you should, by the way, if you get that Presence of Mind proc and continue that fight, or, you miss out on the kill and you can't get excited and you suddenly get taken down.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see Jinx being able to shoot people from outside the vision range. I think that's going to be the best thing here. It's going to be really, really tough for folks to get onto this Jinx through the Paranoia, right? And that's why I like Paranoia as an ability, because it is the offense that Nocturne uses it, but a lot of times just using it to deny vision from your opponents is insanely good. And pairing that with ultimates that are so far, that have such long range, like the Oran Horn, like the Solar Flare as well, and especially pairing it with the Galio, there's a whole lot of very potent combinations here for GVSU that pressure is going to have to deal with. And I think we've done a whole lot of talking about GVSU here. Let's take a look at that pressure. I know that you said you like Squizzy being on a more aggressive character. I like that as well. Most of his match history is on champions that are more aggressive. Gangplank, Jax, Lucian, Irelia. Very, very aggressive top laners. So I'm liking this Wukong pick here. It also synergizes well with the Sejuani, the Nautilus as well. And really just providing a high CC frontline for Kai'Sa to really run wild in this backline.
Yes, it is. It gives the opportunity for Kai'Sa to be able to go in. She has effectively 3 ways to get in there that are hard engaged. So you have your Wukong ultimate, you have your Sejuani ultimate, you also have just Sejuani in general, you also have Nautilus ultimate. So you have a lot of ways to follow up. It gives you a lot of agency in terms of getting that good in, so to speak, onto the likes of the Jinx, who wants to be sitting as far back as possible. One thing to note, though, is Kaisa also gets absolutely turned off by Nocturne because you can be crowd controlling the Jinx in the backline. If he turns off the lights, all of a sudden you're either dashing in when the lights are off and you can't find your team, or you can't dash in because you can't see them. So Kaisa has to get to that point where she can beat that front line. She needs to be able to take down the Leona, Galio, Ornn. I want to see a cleanse come through from Grey Zero, and if we can get that from Kaisa where she's able to get through that landing phase, maybe get those couple of upgrades, the Q and the E evolve, as quickly as possible, and is able to maneuver these team fights, she has the potential to absolutely pop off here, because Kaisa is one of those champions that you give her a couple kills and she just starts counting from there.
Yeah, it's and I think both of these bot laners are in a position to really rocket ahead. Of course, Jinx also being in one of those champions that once they get a small lead, they're able to run away with the game, right? They don't really play as far as well as behind as they would if they were ahead, you know? So we'll have to see two snowballing bot lanes. We have some interesting synergies between both team compositions here, but we're going to take just a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be on the Rift of GVSU Silver versus That Pressure, game number 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Style Esports. My name is Shinkari and I'm joined by Rare Adam, and we are on the Rift of GVSU, Silver on the blue side and That Pressure on the red. We have a 5-point start from both teams. Let's see how this game 2 goes underway. So my name is Shinkari, I'm joined by Rare Adam. We're ready to get this game underway.
I'm excited to see what's going on here because We've got a Sejuani in this game. We mentioned it briefly that it's not my favorite to see come through. But Galio might be in trouble. Tamikaze, oh my goodness.
Yeah, Tamikaze is going to be snared up here, forced to flash away. Does have that Sejuani passive on them as well, but is not going to be able to trigger this time. But a decent chunk of damage. This might force Tamikaze to back here. He's going to start in lane with below half HP, with about half HP. Going to have to be chugging some pots in order to live.
Yeah, and Darksteel doesn't give you the bonus healing on pots anymore. Hasn't done that for quite a while, so unfortunately, Tamikaze going to have to play a little bit more careful. And of note, it is Predator Galio, which means that generally has a better laning phase because you aren't taking all of those defensive runes. You are able to do a little bit more damage, but it means that you don't have as much survivability pre-level 6. So Tamikaze going to have to be a little bit more careful, especially into an aggressive pick like this LeBlanc, who is starting to just put down the damage already.
Yeah, I find it just a little interesting because I feel like even with the Predator, I still feel like you should probably go into the Resolve in the second half because conditioning, I feel, on Galio is just so good because you just get so much offense from having magic resist. So just being able to say, like, have some guaranteed resistances at level 10 is very good. And then also being able to go into something like Overgrowth or even just like Demolish, I feel is very powerful on the Galio with those empowered auto attacks. Like, there's a lot of things to like in that particular tree, and going for the Celerity and Nimbus Cloak that Tamikaze is offered for here, I don't particularly like that rune setup that he has here.
The only real benefit of going Nimbus Cloak here is that when you go for your teleport plays, you can really get your taunt off quickly. But that's sort of the main draw to going blue tree secondary as opposed to green tree. Yes, I just absolutely simplified the crap out of it instead of sounding smart, but you know, sometimes it's just easier to think of it that way. Red-blue Galio is definitely an interesting and aggressive choice, but maybe Tamikaze is just feeling themselves, especially after last game's performance.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's also weird for me that you would go such an aggressive build and then not take Ignite. Like, I know they're looking to... It's just a weird dichotomy to me that, like, oh, I want my Galio to be aggressive in lane. Okay, but I won't take Ignite. Okay, then. All right. But, you know, that's why they're playing the game, and I'm just sitting here casting, because if I were playing the game, I probably would be... This is about where I would play right now, is Sukurukai. Taking a whole lot of damage, nearly gets that passive proc, but Whiskey Lion was a little bit too far away, as Nocturne definitely feeling the pain in this jungle right now.
And I am happy to see Squizzy being aggressive in this lane, shoved in that Ornn really hard, got the first 2 waves and just stuck Ornn under tower. And while Imperium's done a great job of cleaning up that CS in the meantime, they were able to open up that, oh my goodness.
Ooh, yeah, Whiskey Havoc gets taunted underneath turret, but Tamikaze is still really, really low here. Whiskey Havoc has been doing a very good job of abusing that range advantage that LeBlanc has over Galio and just using auto attacks instead of spells in order to attack Galio. So real smart play from Whiskey Havoc in the mid lane here, as looks like Cookie is looking for a little bit of the same harassment that that Whiskey Lion was able to put on Sukurukai, but not being able to get a whole lot of success out of it. They're going to be able to pick up that blue buff, as it was a little bit contested. Sweeping for some wards, but not going to really be able to find any.
Yeah, and sometimes what I like to wish I could do is have those LCS tools where you open up the minimap more. Oh my goodness. Action everywhere.
Yeah, a whole lot of fighting across the map here. Squizzy actually forcing Imperium out of lane here, and Whiskey Lion taking a bit of burst damage for themselves. Tamikaze, once again, Galio is up there with the tank. They are a tank. They definitely have a whole lot of, like, their burst damage level 2, level 3 is insane. Galio does a whole lot of damage early, and even though sometimes they won't build into it later, they still do a fair amount of damage for themselves. So definitely someone to watch out for. Ooh, Tamikaze going forward there, not getting hit by the turret is actually pretty good as Whiskey Havoc. Yeah, it looks like they're just backing away here. Yeah. I wonder if... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, of note, it is Ignite on the LeBlanc, so she's going to miss out on a decent chunk of CS here. But top side... Ooh,
Yeah, Imperium. Ooh, flash at the end of the bull charge as well. That's a really good play by Whiskey Lion. They're going to give first blood over to Squizzy in the top lane. That's a very, very good start. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, that's going to be Zenith Blade onto Gray Z, and he's trying to run away as best as he can here. Cookie is taken incredibly low, but the damage might not be onto the right target as Jinx is running wild around here, trying to get excited, but not going to be able to get a kill this time.
Unfortunately not. Gray Zero, though, sort of doing okay in this lane, all things considered. I expected it to be a little bit tougher because Jinx has that range advantage early, but Gray Zero has played this really well thus far on the Kai'Sa, and honestly, Kai'Sa is one of my favorite AD carries. Whenever I end up playing AD carry, I will pick Kai'Sa, and I think that she's a very popular champion, not because she's always strong, but because she's really fun. And the most nuanced thing is her auto attacks feel so nice, and her Q feels so nice. Ooh. And Puma's flash was actually pretty nice there too.
Yeah, I think you take that flash trade every day of the week if you're Golem Guy Galaxy. Like, you're a support and you're a Nautilus. Like, a lot of the times, if people are trying to focus you and kill you, they're not. They've either already killed the AD carry, or like they're gonna just spend a million years trying to kill you. So you don't really need that flash as a defensive option. Sometimes you're even just moving in front of your AD carry in order to tank some CC. So yeah, taking it away from Pumbaa here is definitely a very, very good trade for him.
And also has Hex Flash, so Golem Guy Galaxy can still make flash plays, just needs to set them up a couple seconds earlier.
Yeah. As we see the red team looking for this dragon, clearing out some vision in the pit right now. Doesn't exactly have kind of any sort of prio in either lane here, so I don't think they're going to be able to get to this Drake anytime soon. Nocturne is waiting in the wings and does have vision around the pit, but bot lane is resetting, so this might actually be the red team's turn to throw out some vision in this side of the map and maybe claim dragon for themselves.
I would really like to see them look for some sort of aggressive dragon play because Sejuani takes it so quickly. For a tank, at least. She has the Bomby Cinder as well, and she has that option, but Sukrakai being level 6 and Whiskey Line still not finding that quite yet is worrying because Nocturne might be looking for a play. Ooh.
Yeah, Whiskey Havoc throwing out a whole lot of damage on the Tamikaze here.
A lot of
forcing away, but Whiskey Line was on Drake, is now fighting Cookie 1v1. I don't think this is a fight Nocturne you want, Leona, but Nocturne is close by, is level 6. This is going to be the heroic entrance. Whiskey Line's got to get out of there. They're knocked into the air. This might be the paranoia. That's going to be a dive onto the back line here. Whiskey Line has to use the smite in order to stay alive against the dragon. Can they find the last bit of damage on the Sukrakai? They cannot, but that's going to be Kai'Sa dashing forward. Sukrakai flashes into the pit. He's now real low. He can't get out. They're going to have Gray Zero is looking for that last bit of damage. Absolutely going to be able to find it, but Pumbaa is here. Going to be able to kill just the LeBlanc clone as the red team is now running for their lives, but Tamikaze flashes forward, grabs a double taunt. Gray Zero is taken incredibly low, but he's going to pick up the kill on a Tamikaze. They might not have been able to get the dragon, but they come out of that engagement a 2-for-1, so I think that's a fairly even trade if you're the red team.
You heard me screaming it. He didn't have mana for the Q. He flashed forward. He got everything that he wanted, and then he didn't have mana to use those Winds of War to pick up the kill. And the worst part about all of that is 2 kills going into the Kai'Sa's favor. That means that she's going to be able to almost finish her Mythic. And what, Shinkari, remind me what I said at the very beginning about what we need to watch on Kai'Sa.
Oh, we need to watch her getting a whole bunch of kills.
And what did she just get?
Oh, she got 2 of them?
That's a pretty good start. She's already.
That's a pretty good start. It's pretty good.
The new Akshan emote is perfect for this. It's like, I get 2 kills, Nocturne Flash, Galio Flash. You get Dragon.
Yes, trade opportunity.
Yes,
trade offer.
Like,
oh. Whiskey Havoc was being just a little too cute and got teleported back into the taunt here. As Whiskey Lion is looking for the into the initiation on Tamikaze here. Whiskey Lion is backing away here. Cookie shows up. Yeah, they're not going to be able to get really anywhere with a whole lot of CC.
Yeah, no level 6 coming through on Cookie quite yet. Still waiting for that, but now Sukrakai's here.
Yeah, Sukarakai is here. Whiskey Havoc is in some trouble. Goes back to their spawn point, but is gonna... Oh, okay. Their clone is going to juke the Galio Tom, which is pretty big here. Cookie might be in some trouble as Golem Guy Galaxy is looking for an intro, but there's still some fighting in the mid lane here. Sukurkai is going to be stunned back up. Whiskey Havoc is not going to be the one. Whiskey Lion, however, is going to be the one picking it up. Squizzy is fighting in the top lane here. Tamikaze is looking for something. Can't quite find it, but Cookie was taking a whole bunch of damage in the bot lane, and still they're fighting over wards.
Oh, here comes
That's going to be okay. They're really looking for it now. That's the depth charge. Oh no, the flash knocked Pumbaa into the air, which means that's a real good intro for Gray Zero to get into this fight. Now they're going to be able to pick up that kill as Tamikaze in the mid lane is looking for Whiskey Havoc, but that's such a good stun. Whiskey Lion, holy moly, the savior that we need is going to be the one saving Whiskey Havoc, as that's now a hook underneath the turret. That's a whole lot of damage from the Kai'Sa. 4 kills for the Kai'Sa in this bot lane total. 2 kills just now. Holy moly, that pressure is really putting on the pressure.
Brazil v Germany.
Really?
Yes.
I guess it is 7. No, it's 7-1. Yeah. It's an old meme, sir, but it checks out.
It checks out, and honestly, this is the worst thing that. Oh, I feel bad for Cookie because I'm pretty sure Pumbaa is screaming at them in chat right now. Why did you? I could have lived. All of that sort of stuff, and the main thing is that it forced the heal out of Pumbaa early, and then wasn't able to heal up on the re-engage there. So a little bit unfortunate, but that pressure really showing up in this early game and doing a great job of sort of quashing any sort of power that Tamikaze could pick up on the Galio, despite it being not as much of a carry champion. You don't want to give this guy kills, because we saw what happens when he gets kills last game.
Yeah, he does go really strong. Speaking of strong, Squizzy doing a whole lot. Meanwhile, mid lane, Tamikaze taking a bit of damage. That's going to be the Ignite as well. Whiskey Havoc looking for some burst damage, but not going to be able to do too much onto a Galio here, as now this is the re-intro. That's a good hook in the bot lane here, but Gray Zero is not going to be able to pick up any more damage than what Pumbaa already's got, so they're going to back away, pick up some kills, pick up some minions for themselves underneath the turret, and this wave is going to be crashing in the middle of the lane, so we're probably going to see just a little bit more fighting in a bit.
Yeah, just going to vibe for the time being, but Whiskey Lion...
Oh, yeah, they're coming back mid. Tamikaze taking up a whole bunch of CC here. Whiskey Havoc taking for just a little bit. Whiskey Lion's going to be the one picking up the kill here, as Pumbaa in a whole lot of trouble underneath turret, taking incredibly low, but can't quite find that last bit of damage. It's going to be Solar Flare coming down as well, but Cookie, you do not want to be here. Super Mega Death Archer comes across, but it's not going to land any kills this time. 1 for 0 in the bot lane as Whiskey Havoc looking to pick up some nearby gold for themselves with that Rift Herald that was dropped by Whiskey Lion. This is looking really, really good right now for this mid lane. But, you know, they do have 4 assists, and none of them are the kills, so they're going to have to rely just a little bit more by Whiskey Lion. Squizzy fighting. That's going to be the reactivation of that ultimate as a teleport is coming across. Whiskey Lion's here as well. That's a real good double knock up there. That's going to be the taunt on the Squizzy, taking incredibly low. Can't quite find the CC at that last moment. There's some Whiskey Lions now in some trouble. Imperium looking for more. Tamikaze, they're still trying to run for their lives, and it looks like that is going to be the end of it. 1 for 0 up in this top lane as fight after fight has occurred across the map in this game.
Yeah, just a good re-engage there from the Galio, able to teleport in and save Imperium. Really good ultimate as well. But in the end, as you were saying, yes, there is 4 assists on the LeBlanc, which should be 4 kills, in my opinion. But 5-0 and 0 Kai'Sa, that is someone that you can trust to carry your game, I think.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's going to definitely carry this team fight that's going to happen. To flash forward, lands the hook. Golem Guy Galaxy, the god, is going to be stunning up, going to be pulling Cookie into that fight. It's now a 1 for nothing. And now they're going to start up this Infernal Drake.
You know how LeBlanc had 4 assists before? Now she has a kill, so she's happy.
We did it. We got there eventually.
Yeah, Dragon going to be taken by the side of that pressure, and they've just got everything going in their favor right now. They also have great late game scaling with the Kai'Sa and the LeBlanc. Wukong doesn't do too bad in the late game either. Just got to be careful to not let Jinx get a little bit too much gold in her pocket, because she is one of the best late game AD carries to ever exist in League of Legends.
Yeah, I honestly, I would say number 2. I would say like Vayne, maybe number 3, because I don't know, because Senna technically scales infinitely, so you just can't say that she's not one of the best ones. Like, if it were a top 3 in no particular order, it's Vayne, it's Jinx, and it's Senna, right?
Yeah, I think one of the main things is that with with the Jinx specifically, it's because you get those resets in fight. She's a reset AD carry. Like Samira.
Yeah, Squizzy's doing a whole lot. Is actually looking. Oh, doesn't need the turret dive for too long. Is this going to be Golden Guy Galaxy looking for something? Can't quite find it though. Uses the Hex Flash. It looks like they're just going to be backing away here, as Nocturne has been waiting in the wings. I don't think he's been spotted out by a ward, but I think the red team is just good to reset right here and just go back to base, as Kai'Sa is going to pick up a decent couple items for themselves. Nautilus hanging around the turret.
Yeah, and Kai'Sa having this means that she has double evolve right now, I believe, which means that Q and E are evolved, and that's exactly the point that we were making, that Nocturne needs to start using that ultimate not so much for killing people, but more so for saving his own team, because right now this Kai'Sa is just able to jump on anyone and most likely kill them. Gore Drinker going to come through on Nocturne though. Interesting adaptation on the old Stridebreaker build, because Gore Drinker is a strong item right now and Stridebreaker is not, but you miss out on that attack speed, and Nocturne kind of appreciates that.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty tough, as Zero is finding out Leona there in the bot lane bush, but they're going to be able to get that ward for themselves, as Whiskey Lion looking to dive Imperium in this top lane here. Usually you don't want to do it. Imperium is going to be very tanky, but look at the damage coming down from Squizzy right now. They're now outside turret range, and now Squizzy is the one taking up the turret. It might actually be... Oh, no. Squizzy is going to go down here. Imperium was taken real low, but they're not going to be able to find that kill. That's going to be the depth charge coming across, but here is the Nocturne ult in response. Pumbaa's taken incredibly low. They're trying to tunnel vision for that last kill, but they can't quite find it. And now Golden Guy Galaxy is strapped down here, 1v3, stuck, trying to run for their life. Maybe he can hook onto some terrain, but Whiskey Havoc coming in from the side, going to be able to pick up that kill. As Sukurukai is looking for that kill on the Golden Guy Galaxy. Going to find it. Red buff picked up by Whiskey Lion, fought by Tamikaze. Not going to be able to steal away the buff this time, so they're going to back away. Whiskey Havoc looking for some more on the Tamikaze, but he's full HP. That's a Galio. I don't think you're going to be killing that guy anytime soon.
I just want to point out something as well, though. A couple of shutdowns coming through, and of note, the big shutdown going off of that Kai'Sa, and that's a big chunk of gold going back. Tamikaze, despite being 0-3 and 3, starting to work towards that sort of power point at one item when you have that rocket belt, but just has to be very careful. You can see Sukurukai is sticking around in the area, but they were spotted out on a ward, so they know exactly what's up.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect opportunity for Whiskey Lion to go for this Rift Herald right now. I think they should just ignore the enemy team, but it looks like they're just kind of going for this dive into the top side again. Is now Cookie 5202 is looking real tough. As that's going to be the Sejuani ultimate coming across, taking up the turret, going to be able to find that turret dive finally in the top lane. Picks up a decent kill for themselves, and if Rift Herald was safe before, it's definitely safe now. So let's see if they're looking for it. It looks like a yes. The bot lane is coming up to mid.
Yeah, and Sukurukai trying to defend this tower. Not... what is going on?
Yeah, it's going to be real tough. Here comes Galio with the Predator as well. Grey Zero is going to be bursted down very quickly. Tamikaze did just pick up that rocket bell, so now it's going to be really hard for Golden God Galaxy to get out of here, but going to use that hook in order to get away with that jungler in the bot, around the Rift Herald. They're going to be able to pick that up as, yeah, Super Mega Death Rocket came across, but not going to land on anyone this time. Blue team did pick up first turret at 19 minutes. I think that's the latest a first turret has been taken out that I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, it's not like, I mean, even before, like, when turret plates didn't exist, first towers were going down at, like, 4 minutes. Because you'd lane swap, and you'd be like, hey, you're a top laner? You suck. You get to be level 3 at 9 minutes. Like, it just, like, Fnatic's sort of unfortunate Worlds run made me remember when Gigabyte Marines, they played Galio top lane with Archie, and Levi played Nocturne when Nocturne was bad. We'll get back to the point.
Yeah, well, that Tamikaze is being burst out pretty quickly here. Not a whole lot that can do, that magic shield can do against all the physical damage that's being thrown out by Grey Zero and Squizzy here, but it looks like the team is looking to get to this Cloud Soul right now. This first Cloud Drake of the map has spawned, and the red team really wants it right now, so they're going to be here first. They're going to clear out a lot of the vision for the blue team, but they do have that Scuttle Crab right there, so it's Gonna be pretty easy, as that's gonna be them
Super
spotted out
high.
here, but
Oh!
yeah, they're going over the wall. Not gonna be able to get the steal, but this is gonna be the heroic entrance into the pit. That's a 5-man knock up into the air. That's gonna be LeBlanc going over the wall, but you're gonna meet Jinx on the other side. Grazier is gonna be able to pick up the first kill on Kamikaze.
no.
Golem Guy Galaxy looks for the re-engage, gonna be able to be backed up by Grazier now, and now Cookie's in trouble, as that's going to be 3 members of the red team collapsing onto this Jinx, and it's a 4 for nothing in this bot lane around this Drake. They're losing the top lane turret, but they should be able to push some more.
Yeah, they lose 4 members. They get a tower out of it, and Jinx gets a kill, but this is a double Shelly charge. Oh, they got it right before, so that means she gets a 3rd charge most likely.
Yeah, let's see if they can get a charge onto this turret. They could be able to get a whole lot after this. If they can just a little bit more. Let's see that charge from Shelly. Here we go. All right, okay, they're out of there before the Ornhorn can really do anything super significant. They get a decent chunk of damage onto this tier 3 turret, but it is important to note that tier 3 turrets do heal. So, it'd be really tough as Sucre Kai is on the hunt for Whiskey Lion here. The rest of the blue team is looking to collapse as well. Whiskey Lion just looking to slow them up just a little bit. Squizzy is here to support. And slow as LeBlanc. They're still stunned up at the end of that dash. Sucre Kai is still looking for it. Whiskey Lion is long gone here, but now they're going to back away. The whole blue team's in the top side. And yeah, no kills after the end of all that. But Whiskey Lion was able to get Wolves. They did get it.
And one thing I'm realizing right now is I look at my spec client and I can't see crowd control. I'm trying to find out why that is. So yes, you're looking at my settings right now, stream, but I am.
Behold, we have now turned the lights on inside Space Mountain. The lights are on in Space Mountain. If you weren't feeling claustrophobic before, it definitely is going to be. You're definitely feeling claustrophobic now. Whiskey Havoc in some trouble there as he's being chased out by this Predator Tamikaze. It's so funny to me that Tamikaze has, oh, wait a minute. Do they want to dive in on that? Okay. Tamikaze has Predator and has the Hextech Rocket Belt, so it's just insanely hard to get away from him. He also has Celerity as well, so he's just so fast. Man, I think that's the best stat to have. I think that's the best stat to have the most of. Second only to health. It's like if you stack a billion movement speed, then it's really funny, and if you stack a billion health, it's really funny to see your HP bar. But Cookie in some trouble here. That's going to be a Sejuani ultimate coming across, but Grey Zero is going to be snared up by those clap traps, those little traps there. As now they're diving onto the back line. That's going to be the Paranoia coming across as well. It's a 4v1 on the front line there, but now here comes the team collapsing forward. One after another fall to the Jinx. It's a double kill for Pumbaa, a kill for Imperium, and the red team fall 4 for nothing, and that's going to be a very, very easy blue team Baron.
Yeah, and of note, Grey Zero, I think, just kind of mashed buttons at the wrong time. Pressed alt, went right through the traps. Oh my goodness, Whiskey Havoc!
Yeah, diving in here, trying to maybe play spoiler for just a little bit longer, maybe scare them off the Baron, which might end up happening. Sucre Kai might have to smite to live. And to take Summoner Heal as well. I think that just might be worth it. They're going to clean up the Baron. They're going to win. Or excuse me, they're going to pick up the Baron for themselves, pick up a pretty good, decent chunk of gold after that big team fight for themselves. Yeah, this is looking real good for the blue team right now. They're also passing out those ornaments.
Yeah, ornaments coming through. It is Wormfall and Sacrifice. I remember when those came out, and I had to just have the Ornn items on the side because I felt like Ornn was picked so often right at the beginning of this season. Like 11-1, 11-2, so many Ornn picks, so many tanks picked. So, you end up learning those.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of the junglers weren't like exactly tanks. Like they were just initiators that just did too much damage because Turbo Chem Tank was ridiculous.
Yes, and of course Turbo Chem Tank has the worst Ornn item name. It is Turbocharged Experiment.
Yeah, that does. I mean, I kind of like it. It's kind of got some pizzazz to it. I like it.
Sucre Kai flashed.
Yeah. Sucre Kai did flash, but look at the mid lane here too. That's Pumbaa being like, okay, if y'all are just gonna dance around Dragon Pit. I'm gonna take some jungle camp. I'm gonna take the some jungle camps and a turret as well. And Squizzy is still top lane, but a TP is already coming down for more, and this has to be matched. Here we go. We're gonna get this 5v5 team fight sooner. Squizzy immediately runs away.
Zero.
That's going to be the Ornhorn coming across. Going to knock Gray Zero into the air. That's going to be the heroic entrance coming in. Only going to knock. That's going to Golem Guy Galaxy into the air. Whiskey Havoc is diving into the back line, but you can't fight Sukurukai anymore. He's way too strong. Solar Flare onto the Kaisa as well. That's going to be the Paranoia coming across. Still, one by one, the red team is falling, and it's really hard to get back into the Squizzy dives, trying to find maybe a cheeky kill on the Pumba, but it's not going to be able to find it this time. It gets excited, but there's really no more targets to find as the blue team picks up 3 kills for nothing, and now they get to grab Drake and they get to push down these turrets as well.
And that fight looked so good from the offset because Jinx was mid lane. I commented that she was sleeping, and she was, because there was a knock up onto the Kaisa, and Jinx probably could have killed the Kaisa right off the bat, but got zoned out by Squizzy, walked all the way around, flashed over Raptor's wall, was able to get back into the fight, and ends up getting a kill at the back end of that. Pumbaa, I'll say outplay for stream, but a very lucky play at the end of that one. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, for sure. As yeah, they're able to pick up 2 turrets at the end of that Drake as well. They're pushing down on the bot side with the Nocturne, but it looks like the team is mostly resetting right now. I think in terms of pushing turrets with the Baron buff, that's probably about to wear off. I don't think it was that successful. They were able to get a few turrets in the mid lane, but that's really it. I think the big use of it was getting that combat stats in order to grab that Drake. But I think most folks would look at that as not the greatest Baron, but you know, when you're still ahead by 4.4 thousand gold and some change, that's still a decent Baron to see the least.
And to be fair, the Baron that they picked up, it was when they were slightly behind in gold, so that 4.4 thousand gold is their Baron power play. And considering how their game state was, they needed to clean up those tier 2s. They needed to clear up some tier 1s even, so I think it's a rather successful Baron, and they're going to get themselves set up for a extremely strong AD carry. We talked a lot about how if Kaisa gets some kills, she can cause some issues, but Jinx is on 3 items and some change right now. She does deeps, a lot of it.
Yeah.
And if you leave her, oh my goodness, never mind.
Oh wait, they're definitely going, and that's the Sejuani ultimate as well, and Kaisa's going to be the one picking up the shutdown. The rest of the red team looking for some more kills, but the blue team is so far away right now. Yeah, it looks like they might just look to push in on this mid lane here. They do have a wave pushing, coming to them fairly soon, but I don't think they'll be able to take down this turret anytime soon.
Yeah, and Whiskey Lion unfortunately just doesn't keep moving up just a little bit more. I don't know, Whiskey Havoc flashed and auto-attacked Imperium, and then Imperium just kind of walked away, but no Jinx for another 15 seconds means this tier 3 should go down, bar any miracle play from Tamikaze.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge solar flare right on top of Gray Zero now, and with no carry, look at the damage coming down for the blue team here. Their survivor just a little bit longer. Squizzy is actually doing some decent damage, but not enough to finish off these HP bars. Whiskey Lion is in some trouble, maybe be able to find the kill on a cookie. Nope, not this time. Tamikaze is going to be the one picking up the kill, and it's a clean 5-for-0 ace inside the blue team's base.
Tamikaze just walked up and 5-man taunted them. This is same energy as did he just walk up and down smash? that was absolutely pivotal in turning the fight. You can see how low Cookie is, and Sukurukai with that Gore Drinker build just gets such a massive heal off the back end of that, and now will be constantly trying to feast on these backline members because he has the Ceaseless Hunger. That's probably one of the best Horn upgrade items.
Oh yeah, Ceaseless Hunger is a very good name. As Sejuani opting for the Turbo Chem Tank. Interesting. To say the least. Yeah, Frostfire on Sejuani is pretty good. I mean, you get a lot of incidental health. Like, the size is also nothing to sneeze at either. You're better at body blocking for Gray Zero. Like, I'm not sure, even though I was saying before, it's funny to have like a lot of excuse me,
move fast.
Yeah, a lot of move fast. It's very fun to have a lot of movement speed. Turbo Chem Tank has not been good for a very long time, and like those nerfs were pretty substantial.
If I were to be Freak in this situation, Turbo Chem Tank sucks. But realistically, Whiskey Lion going for Frostfire there means you just go. Oh my goodness, never mind, we'll get back to that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we have 3 initiators on this team where it was bound to happen eventually. The depth charge is going to keep them off of Gray Zero for just a little bit longer, trying to kite for their life, taken so incredibly low, but here's the Oran Horn as well. Doesn't need him to take down the Kaisa as one after another. The red team is falling again. Whiskey Havoc has shown up, but it's a 5v2 right now, and Squizzy has to make his way back to this turret in order to defend against 5 members here, but this Jinx is just so good at taking turrets. They have so many ornaments as well. It's going to be so incredibly tough to stop this push here. Squizzy makes a valiant effort, gets daunted up, use that clone to try to get away, throws out the second half of the ultimate for maybe survive for just a little bit longer. They dive back in. Whiskey Havoc's looking for the kill on the Pumbaa, but can't quite find it. That's going to be 2-0. GVSU Silver picks up the win. What a great series, 2-0.
Really well played from the side of GVSU to clean that one up. And fun fact, now upgraded Arrow Pack on Galio is 100% win percentage, at least on stream thus far. So that's the other really bad name, by the way. But regardless, really well played from both of those teams. And at the end of the day, GVSU Silver just able to wait and scale and trust in their Jinx. Really well played from Gray Zero, but just had a couple of missteps at the end, which really cost the team.
Yeah, and I don't know how much of it was like missteps by Gray Zero and how much more of it was, oh, hey, we're a team with a lot of long-range CC that can hit this Kaisa. And then because all of the gold on that pressure was on Gray Zero, and then them eating Solar Flare, Orn Horn, heroic entrance, like everything in the US Army was poured into Gray Zero when they were doing this. So really, it was really tough for Gray Zero to really find an opening for them to succeed in 5v5 team fights, honestly.
And I think that what we need to see out of that pressure moving forward is honestly just a little bit more trust in your strengths, because Gray Zero had a great game. I think that putting a couple more resources down there as opposed to potentially even to the mid lane where Whiskey Havoc had a good laning phase but just couldn't really convert on it. I think once you get 5 kills on your Kaisa, you just start snowballing around her and you look for plays with the Kaisa as opposed to saying, hey, you know what, Kaisa's good on her own, let's get everyone else up. But could just be something to keep in mind for next time. I think at the end of the day, both of these teams played well and they gave us a good series.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this was still a fun series to watch. I mean, Gray Zero was doing a whole lot of popping off. I think Golem God Galaxy still had a bunch of really good plays. Whiskey Lion, the proactivity from Whiskey Lion was very, very good. You know, it wasn't perfect, but I still will favor folks for playing their champions very well. I think Whiskey Lion still had a fairly good showing on Sejuani, more so than Jarvan in my opinion, but still very good. You know, but at the end of the day, we can only have one victor, and today it is GVSU Silver. But GG's to both teams. Thank you for letting us stream your game, GVSU Silver and That Pressure. GG's, and to be from everyone here, from the entire live broadcast crew, myself and Rare Adam, my producer and co-caster for this evening. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, press that follow button. We have League of Legends action for y'all to watch every week. And if you are feeling generous, press that subscribe button as well. It really helps us out. But from everyone here at Style Esports, thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you at the next match. Bye-bye.